every day, like the everyday person, like they know you from you, not your credentials, right? So like thinking about like, I don't know, does your mom introduce you as like, oh, this is so-and-so, my NASM certified son, right? Like they don't do that. They know you from your real life. And this is the part that separates coaches who build thriving businesses from coaches who struggle to fill their roster slots. When you show up on a podcast week after week and share the real stuff, the struggles that shaped how you coach, excuse me, the obstacles you've overcome, and the failures that taught you more than the wins ever did, that's when people actually connect with you. Because think about it like this. If you just talked about your certifications and your system, you just become another cut and paste program on the internet. But if you talk about the back pain that plagued you for 20 years, or you're the person that's not afraid to ask really dumb questions during a podcast, or you share what it was like when your phone rang one morning and your dad told you that your mom had died, that's when you become real. That's when you become human. Now, I'm sharing how I became a real boy through podcasting, right? But you can do the same with your wins and your setbacks. These vulnerabilities aren't weaknesses. They're proof points that you're not some untouchable fitness influencer living in a perfect world. You're someone who's been in the trenches. You've faced real problems. You've struggled and you've figured it out. So when someone listens to you talk about these obstacles, they're essentially spending, real life time with you. They're getting to know you, right? They're getting to understand that you're not picture perfect, right? You're not the polished version that most people showcase on Instagram 24/7. You became a real person. So here's what I've seen happen over and over and over. I've built Pursue Podcasting largely through people who became clients after hearing me on podcasts. Over 1,000 episodes created a foundation for a 6-figure client relationship. But that only happened because people felt like they already knew me before we ever even talked about me, like taking them on as a client. They knew what frustrated me. They understood what I cared about. They had spent hours and hours of listening to me think out loud on a podcast about life, training, business, and all those setbacks that I had mentioned a little while ago. But they also knew that I could, handle things, and they trusted my process without me having to explain that process. The fitness industry rewards perfection. It rewards that highlight reel. It rewards the person who looks the best and has the most followers. But podcasting seriously rewards something different: authenticity. And authenticity rewards your business. When you're willing to be imperfect in public, when you're willing to share the real journey, people connect with that. They want to work with somebody who actually has been where they currently are. So your job in building the no factor is extremely simple. Share your story. Share the vulnerabilities. Share the moments that shaped your philosophy as a coach. Excuse me. Don't worry about sounding perfect or polished. Worry about sounding real. Now, knowing you isn't enough, though. The next step is getting people to actually like what you're saying. And here's where most coaches get this part wrong. They think like means sounding impressive. They try to sound good for other coaches, not for their ideal client, right? That's such a huge mistake. It's the equivalent of comedians on stage telling high-level jokes for people in the green room, right? For other comedians. They want to make other comedians laugh, but all that stuff goes way over the head of the audience, right? So you want to tell jokes for the audience, not for the other comedians. You want to create podcasts for your clients, not other coaches, right? So anyways, sounding impressive, that's not it. That's not how you get people to like you. Like means you're giving people actionable tips that actually work. It means every time they listen to your podcast, excuse me again, they walk away with something they can use because you're talking to them. This is where you shift from just sharing your story to actually teaching your method. You talk about how you implemented something on your own training, for yourself or for your life. You explain the thinking behind it. Then you show how to take your clients through it, or you explain how you took your clients through it. When someone hears that you're getting results for yourself and then hears how you're implementing it for your clients, they move from interested to invested. They start to get a little curious about what life would be like if you were, or if they were one of your clients. The like factor is built through consistent, actionable advice. Not hype, not shortcuts, not this one weird trick will do XYZ, or the one tip that trainers don't want you to know. I miss those articles because they were always so funny. But it comes from the real honest advice, not the one tricks. But you also need to be honest about what worked and what didn't. Talk about the methods you tried that flopped. Like, dude, I tried the sugar diet and failed miserably. I got talked into it. I'm sorry. It was too compelling. I couldn't help it. I tried it for like 2 weeks and I felt horrible the whole time. It was fun for like the first day. And then after that, my teeth hurt and I haven't recovered. So anyway, but you want to talk about this kind of stuff. Talk about the nuance and the reality, not just the wins, right? Like you got to share it all. Every single podcast episode should answer this question: how can my listener actually use this information? If you can't answer that question, the episode isn't doing the work it needs to do. You're not building that like. You're just, unfortunately, kind of just filling time. When you consistently show up and deliver actionable advice that people implement immediately, they start to like you and they start to trust your judgment. They start to think, well, shoot, this person actually knows what they're talking about. And if they're willing to share it openly, that's kind of damn awesome of them. This is the foundation for everything that comes next, because trust is the final piece. And that is earned when people see you delivering results, not just for yourself, but for the people you work with. This is where the know, like, and trust framework actually converts into paying clients.